Today's practice is for improving and getting deeper into our backbends. If backbends is something that you're working towards, you need to focus on building strength in your shoulder muscles, opening up of your shoulders, building strength in your lat, in your upper back muscles, and of course you need to work on flexibility in your spine. You need to make sure that you're stronger in your glutes, you have strength in your quads. The vinyasa helps you build strength in your upper body, in your upper back, in your lat muscles, to engage your core and build strength in your quad muscles and in your glutes. And I do have a pair of very light dumbbells just to show you places where you can incorporate weights into your practice, which will help build more strength in your muscles, and it just adds extra challenge. So it's always fun to push yourself outside your comfort zone. So I just have a very light pair of dumbbells because it gets hard for me to talk and cue and have weights added into the practice. And I also have a yoga straps, and I'll start the practice with shoulder flossing. You can do that without yoga straps. You can use a towel, you can use a long rope or a skipping rope, and or anything that you can hold tight on both ends and hold taut, and you can use that to do shoulder flossing. If you do not have yoga straps, don't stress over it. And yep, whenever you're ready, I'll meet you on the mat. Please do consider subscribing to the channel, and let's begin. We'll begin the practice with shoulder flossing. So get your yoga strap or a towel or a skipping rope, whatever you're using, and hold it tight on either ends. Adjust your grip depending on the flexibility and the opening in your shoulder. So the one way you can determine the width where you need to hold is try holding it at both ends, go all the way over your head and all the way to the lower back. So you should be able to make this in one continuous movement. If you go up over your head and if you get stuck somewhere here and cannot go any further, you can widen your grip, so it will give you more space, and you can go all the way down and come back up. And as your shoulder opens up and as you improve with your shoulder flexibility, you can shorten your grip on your yoga strap. So let's begin with yoga shoulder flossing. Hold your yoga strap wherever it's comfortable for you, and you can do this either seated or standing, and take it all the way over your head and bring it all the way back to your lower back or to your glutes. Next exhale, bring it back up and to the front. Take it back and bring it to the front. You might hear a few cracks in your shoulders, and that's very normal. Sync this with your breath. Don't hold your breath when you're doing any movements. As you go up and over your head, try to open your armpits out towards, facing outwards, so that will help you open up your shoulders and give you that mobility to go up and over. You can continue to do as many as you want, but let's stop here. Come down on all fours. Make sure that your palms are directly underneath your shoulders and your knees are underneath your hips. Engage your core. We'll do a few rounds of cat-cows. Drop your belly, lift your chest. Round your back, push your shoulder blades away from each other. Drop your belly, lift your chest. Round your back, push your shoulder blades away from each other. Drop your belly, lift your chest. Round your back and push the shoulder blades away from each other. 2 more. Come back to neutral spine. Extend your right leg out. Bring your right toes on the outside of your hip. Next exhale, Imagine you're drawing a big semicircle of sorts, and with your big toe, bring your right foot on the outside of your left hip as far as you can go. You can bring your gaze back towards your feet too. Bring it back on the outside of your hip. Bring it all the way around on the outside of your left hip, outside of your right hip, outside of your left hip. If you want to make this a little more challenging, you can lift your leg to your hip height, draw a big circle out and bring it back in. 2 more, wherever you are. Bring it back in. Bring your right foot on the outside of your right palm. Tuck your back foot. Come into a lizard lunge. You should feel a nice opening in your hip. You can move back and forth. You can move side to side. Just get everything warm. You can roll on to the knife edge side of your right foot to warm your hips. Make sure that your left palm is directly underneath your left shoulder. Extend your right hand up towards the sky. Come into an easy twist. Pull up on the kneecap of your extended leg. Engage your left leg. Bring your left knee down. Bend your knee and grab hold of your left foot with your right hand. Sink your left hip down towards the mat. Rotate open your right shoulder and try to work your left heel towards your glutes. You should feel that stretch and that opening in your left quad muscles. Release. Frame your front foot. Tuck your back toes. Come into a low lunge and hold. Keep extending. Reach through your back heel. Slightly shift your weight onto your right foot and we'll be pulling our back knee into our chest and roll on to the toes of your right foot. Extend your left leg. You're coming into a pistol squat and hold. You can have the fingertips touching the mat or the ground. Extend your left leg. Pull up on the kneecaps of your left leg. You should feel the engagement in your left quad. If you want this to be extra challenging, you can bring the palms to your chest, hold, bring your sit bones down on the mat, right foot comes to the inner left thigh, extend your hands alongside your ears and fold forward. You're folding from your hips and not by rounding your back, and work your chest down towards the leg. Keep the back of your neck long and your shoulders are moving away from your ears. Release your fold. Face the side of your mat, so you're facing your bent leg. Your chest is facing your right knee. If you can, work your left elbow on the inside of your left knee and extend your right hand up towards the sky. You can stay here. Make sure that your sit bones are down on the mat the whole time, or you can extend your right hand alongside your ear. Keep reaching with your right fingertips. Don't collapse in your chest. Keep your upper shoulder rotating up towards the sky. Keep reaching with your right hand and try and reach your left toes if that's accessible, or stay wherever you have both your sit bones down on the mat. That's how far you need to go. Release your side stretch. Bring your right palm down on the mat. Bring both your legs into a 90-90. If you did my previous practice, I did this in my previous practice. It's one of my favorite things to do right now. So bring your legs in 90-90. Your right shoulder is directly over your right wrist. Exhale, lift your hips, extend your left hand alongside your ears and bring your back knee to touch your left elbow. Release back into 90-90 and bring your right hip down. We'll do a couple of those. Lift, crunch, back to 90-90 and down. Lift, crunch, 90-90 and down. Next 3 more. Lift, crunch, release and down. Extend your left leg, plant your left foot down, bring your right shin down on the mat parallel to the short edge. Come into a supported side plank. You have your left hand extended up towards the sky, or you can have it alongside your ear, left ear. Make sure that weight is on the knife edge side of your left foot. Plant your palms, you are facing the back of the mat. Come up into a 3-legged dog, extending your right leg up. Square your hips, squeeze your inner thighs. We'll take a few downward dog or 3-legged dog push-ups. Turn your palms slightly inwards and bend at your elbows. Bring the crown of your head to touch between your palms. For 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Back to 3-legged dog. Bring your right knee to chest. Shift your weight forward so your shoulders are directly over your wrist. Plant your right shin down. Come back into your supported side plank. Plant your back foot. Your toes are facing the front of the mat and transition into a supported side angle. Sink your hips towards your left heel. You should feel that opening in your inner thigh. Plant both the palms, tuck your back toes. You're in a lizard lunge but with your left foot forward this time. Reach through the heel of your back leg. Plant your back heel down, back knee down and come back onto all fours. We'll do that sequence on the other side. Make sure that your alignment is correct in your all fours. Drop your belly, lift your chest, round your back, shoulder blades move away from each other. Drop your belly, round your back, drop your belly, round your back. 2 more. Drop your belly, round your back. Last one. Come back to neutral spine. This time extend your left leg. Bring your left toes on the outside of your left hip and draw your semicircle, bringing your left toes on the outside of your right hip and bring it back around for 2. You can move your gaze with your toes if that helps. 3, 4. If you want to make it challenging, lift your left leg hip height and bring it all the way out on the other side. Back. Sweep your left leg all the way around and come into a lizard lunge with your left foot on the outside of your left hand. Back leg is engaged. Reach through your back heel. Move in your lizard lunge, opening up of your hips. You can roll onto the knife edge side of your left foot if that feels good. Bring your back knee down, bend at your back knee and grab your back foot with your left hand. Left shoulder opens up towards the sky and sink your hips down. So you should feel that stretch in your right quad. Work your back heel towards your glutes the whole time. Release your back heel. Frame your front foot, come into a low lunge. Shift your weight onto your front foot, roll onto the ball mounts of your left foot, extend your right leg out, coming into a pistol squat. Engage your leg. You can bring your palms to your chest for an extra challenge. Keep the right leg floating the whole time. Pull up on the kneecap of your right leg. Bring your sit bones down. Your left foot comes on the inside of your right leg. Arms come alongside your ears. Hinge from your hips. Fold forward. Pull up on your right kneecap. Work towards keeping the shoulders away from your ears. Keeping the back of your neck long the whole time. Release. Face your bent leg, so your chest is facing your left knee. Make sure that your sit bones are down on the mat. Work towards bringing your right elbow on the inside of your right leg. Extend your left hand up towards the sky. You can stay here. Make sure your glutes are down on the mat, or extend your left hand alongside your ear. Make sure that you're not collapsing in your chest. Keep reaching through your left fingertips. Both your sit bones are down on the mat the whole time. If you can, reach for your right toes. Release. Plant your palms behind you. Bring your legs in 90-90. You plant your left palm, extend your right alongside your ears, lift your hips and take a crunch by bringing your back knee to touch your right elbow. Go back into your 90-90. Lift your hips, crunch, 90-90 and down. 3 more. Lift, crunch, 90-90 and down. Lift, crunch. And down. This time plant your palms down and come into a 3-legged dog by extending your left leg up towards the sky. If you are off the mat like me, center yourself. We'll take 5 downward dog push-ups or 3-legged dog push-ups for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Bring your left knee to chest. Bring your shoulders over your wrists. Plant your left shin down parallel to the short edge. Come back into your supported side plank. Plant your right foot. Your toes are facing the front of the mat and transition into a supported side angle. Work towards sinking your hips down towards your front heel. Plant your palms on the inside of your right foot. Come into a lizard lunge on the other side. This time, step back into plank pose. We'll sneak in 5 push-ups here. You can keep your legs wide. You can do it from your knees. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push your hips up. Come into a downward facing dog. Take a few rounds of deep breath. And we'll do a couple of rounds of downward dog push-ups. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Bring your gaze towards your palms, squeeze at your elbows and bring your forearms down onto the mat. You're coming into a dolphin. float your left leg, three-legged dolphin. Switch sides, right leg. Walk into a forearm plank and dip your nose between your palms. Shift back. Walk your feet towards your elbows. Dolphin. Float your right leg. Switch sides. Left leg. Walk forearm plank. Dip your nose. Shift back. Dolphin. Float your right leg. Switch sides. Left leg. Walk into plank. Dip your nose. Come back into dolphin. Float your right leg. Switch sides. Float your left leg. Come into a forearm plank and hold. Bring your hip down onto the mat. You should feel the fire in your upper arms and hold your swings. Your glutes are engaged. Your feet, the tops of your feet are pressing down onto the mat. Work your chest through. It's an active pose. You're not just laying down here. Bring your palms to the corners of the mat. Push the mat down and float your elbows. Coming into a baby seal. Back to swings. Bring your chest all the way down, and this is where you can use your light weights, either 1, 2 pounds or 3 pounds depending on your strength. If you have never done this before, please do it without weights. Don't hurt yourself. Bring your feet slightly wider than hip distance. Your tops of your feet are pushing down onto the mat. Pull up on your kneecaps so your legs are strong, they're engaged. Engage your glutes. Lift your chest, float your arms. Every exhale, pull your elbows back and release. 2. Your gaze is slightly in front of you. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Release. Bring your palms to face each other, gripping your weights. If you don't have weights, just bring your palms to face each other, extending your arms alongside your ears. Lift your chest off the mat. If you have weights, lift your left arm, float it. Turn your weight so your palm is facing out. Bring your weights alongside your thighs. Turn your weight so palms are facing out. Bring it back to the center and release. Float your right hand. Turn your palm. Bring your weight or your palm alongside your thigh. Turn your palm out again and bring it back to center. And switch sides, and we'll do this 10 on each side. Lift, turn, bring it alongside your thigh, turn, bring it back. Release, lift, turn alongside your thigh, turn around, come back to center. Lift. If you want to add another challenge, you can float your legs here. Make sure your glutes are engaged. Lift, turn, bring it alongside, lift, back to center. Lift, turn, alongside, back to center. This is 4th. I'm regretting saying 10 on each side, but now that I've said it, let's do it. If you want to take a break, you can release everything down. Like release all the way down. Take a deep breath and do it again. Lift, back to center. Lift, turn, back to center. Lift, turn, come back to center. Turn, back to center. 2 more on each side. Come on. and release. You can put your weights onto one side. You don't need it anymore. We'll work our glutes a little bit. You can stack your palms and rest your forehead on top of it if that makes it easier. Extend your legs, engage your thighs, float your legs and open your legs and close for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and release. Come back to swings. Whew. Tuck your toes and lift your hips up, coming into forearm plank. From here we'll do commandos, so you can have your feet slightly wider if that helps. Squeeze your glutes, tuck your tailbone, engage your core, come up on your right palm, left palm, right forearm down, left forearm down, left palm, right, left forearm down, right forearm down, and continue. Right, left, down, down, left, right, down, down, right, left, right, down, down, and this time come into a plank and bring your knees down, stretch back into child's pose. We'll warm up our back a little bit. As you go, shift your weight forward into cobra. You can add a little bit of glutes and hamstrings here by bending your legs, but make sure that your hips are still pressing towards the mat. Shift back, child's pose. Shift forward cobra with your legs bent, but work your hips down towards the mat. Shift back, shift forward. Work your heels closer to your back, but work your hips down. You should open your back, you should squeeze your glutes. That's what is supporting. Go back, shift forward, go back. Last one, and release back. Option to go back into child's pose or bring your chest down into a puppy pose. Breathe. Come up onto your palms, shift into a plank. Stack your feet, open up side plank on your right arm. Switch sides, open up side plank left side. Work to make sure that your bottom glutes, you're squeezing your bottom hip forward. Come back into plank, take a push up. Side plank on the right, bottom hip forward, pay attention to that. Side plank on the left, back to plank, take a push up. Side plank on the right, side plank on the left, plank and push up, side plank on the right. My arms are quivering here. Side plank on the left, back to plank. You can modify your push up and come down onto your knees. Side plank on the right, side plank on the left. Come back into plank and push up. Bring your knees down, sit back, child's pose. Ooh. Shift forward into plank. You can continue with side plank push-up, or you can just do another 5 push-ups. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Shift your hips back, coming into our downward facing dog. Float your heels, bring your gaze forward and travel to the top of the mat. You can hop, walk, whatever feels good in your body. Halfway lift, try to palm the mat, open your sit bones to the sky, extend, lengthen, stretch your hamstrings. Weight is slightly towards your toes and fold forward. Sit in a chair, bring your arms alongside your ears, squeeze your glutes, engage your lower abs. Float your right leg, the weight is on your left, hold, switch sides, float your left, weight is on your right. Try to sit a little lower on your chair, you should feel the fire in your thighs. Back to full chair, bring your palms to your chest, float your heels, hold. Slowly sit all the way down, bring your glutes over your heels and keep your heels floating this whole challenge, and slowly push down and come all the way up to stand. Then sit down on your chair, hold. Slowly come all the way down, glutes over your heels, slowly lift all the way up, keep your heels floating. That's the challenge. If you really can't, you can bring your heels down and bring it back up. Slowly sit in your chair, have your arms at your chest or floating by your ears, choice is yours. Bring your sit bones down, push all the way to stand. Sit in your chair, hold, come all the way down. You can even do this holding your weights. That's another challenge. Come all the way up and release your heels. How does your legs feel? Oh, I can feel the fire in my legs. We'll come into a one-legged, like a balancing flow on each side, just to engage our core. Bring your right knee to chest, point your right toes down. Make a 90-degree with your knee to your hip and squeeze your hips. Don't just slump on your standing leg. Engage, grow tall out of your hips. Now the challenge is extend your right leg, reach with your right toes and hold your leg here. Bring your arms alongside your ears. Flex your right foot and float it all the way back without touching the mat if you can, and transition into a warrior 3. Come all the way up into that one-legged Tadasana with right leg floating. You can have your arms alongside your ears, by your chest, wherever. Float back into warrior 3. Plant your back foot down, come into a lunge. Cactus your arms, bring your right foot to tap the mat. Extend your right leg back to lunge. Lift back into one-legged Tadasana. Okay, I'm losing my breath. So bring my arms to the chest. Extend your right leg, float, warrior 3. Lunge, arms by your ears. Cactus your arms, tap your back knee down, back into Tadasana. Extend right leg, float back, warrior 3. Step back, lunge, arms by the ears, cactus arm step, up, back into Tadasana. We'll take a standing twist, but we'll not hold our feet in the twist. Just twist your arms out in a T. Stay with your leg bent or leg extended, your choice. Release. How does your standing leg feel? Ooh, I'm out of breath. And on to the other side. Left leg to chest, arms by your ears. Extend your left leg, hold, hold, hold. Flex your left foot, float back, warrior 3. The first one will just go back and forth, Tadasana, warrior 3. And come back, Tadasana. Extend your leg, hold, hold. Float back, warrior 3. This time, bring your back foot down. Come into a high lunge. Tap your back knee down, cactus your arms. Come back up. Pull your knee back to chest. Extend, warrior 3. High lunge. Tap, extend. Or back to one-legged Tadasana. Extend your leg, warrior 3. Try to keep your arms by your ears for as long as you can. Back to high lunge. Tap, cactus your arms. Back into one-legged Tadasana. Extend, warrior 3. Back, high lunge. Tap, extend. This time come up into one-legged Tadasana. Twist with arms out in a T. Extend your left leg, hold. Release. Bend your right leg, grab hold of your right foot behind you. Extend your left hand alongside your ears. Stay here if this is enough. Engage your core. Start kicking into your right hand and slowly open your chest and lean forward. Go only as far as you can, it's okay. If you fall out of it, just try again. Release and switch sides. Release, back to standing. Close your eyes, come back, bring your breath back to control. Cross your feet and come down into seated, or if you can add in a flow like Chaduranga and everything, you can feel free to do that. Bring your soles of your feet together to touch in front of you. Lengthen your spine. Work towards bringing the knees down towards the mat. If you want, just stay here or hinge from your hips. Fold forward. Lift back up. Extend both your legs and let's work our core. Bring your feet in front of you. We'll transition into Navasana. Lean slightly back. Pull your knees into your chest and float your legs. Hold your arms out, or you can have it wrapped behind your knee, whichever is fine. If you want to challenge, extend both your legs and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Come all the way down. We'll work into full wheel and end our practice. Bring your heels in line with your hips. The weight is in your heels. Engage your core. Squeeze your glutes and lift your hips off the mat. Coming into a bridge. Float your toes and start walking your legs out and bring them back in. 1, right forward first, work your left back, walk your left out, try to go as far as you can, walk your right back, walk your right out, walk your left back, walk your left out, walk your right back. Hold your hips up and pulse your knees in and out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your hips down. Heels slightly wider than hip distance. The weight is in your heels and bring your arms next to your ears. You can stay in your bridge, or if you're ready to get into your wheel or play with it, join me here. When you exhale, push your hips up. Keep working your chest through your arms. If you want to add a challenge, you can extend both your legs. Walk your feet back and come all the way down onto the mat. Bring your arms out in a T and we'll take a few rounds of supine twist. Drop your knees on the outside of your left hip. Shoulder blades are glued to the mat. Drop your knees on the outside of your right hip. Back to center. Hug your knees into chest. Support your lower back and float your legs so your hips are stacked directly over your shoulders, coming into a shoulder stand. The weight is on your forearms, it's not on your neck. Bend your knees, bring your knees to your forehead, extend your legs, bring your toes to touch behind your head, work your hips over your shoulders, keep reaching through the heels of your feet, and knees are working away from your face. Bend your knees, roll back onto the mat, and we'll end our practice in Shavasana. I hope you enjoyed the practice. Comment below, let me know your thoughts, and I will meet you on the mat next time. Be grateful for all the wonderful changes that you're creating by being consistent and practicing every day. Thank you so much and see you soon.